Live, ladies and gentlemen, live. It's 10:19, a little for this because, oh man, I slept wrong. I think I need new pillows. That might be what my issue is. My pillows aren't good because I'm a lard ass. And I end up crushing myself, all my joints under the weight of my massive gargantuan belly. And wake up in the morning with neck and shoulder pain. And this morning, I couldn't even, I woke up at like 4. Didn't even wait for the dog to start whining. I just got up at 4 because the pain of my neck and shoulders was keeping me awake. Could not sleep. So I didn't get started as early as I wanted. Yay, middle age. Hooray, middle age. You're so wonderful. So we are, I just had to stop down at the pharmacy by the Harley dealership. So I said, well, since we're here, let's do our drive through. So that's where we're going. This is Cavalry Field Road, taken off of Route 30 east of Gettysburg. We are crossing over Hoffman Road. If you're ever on Hoffman Road, it's a 2-way stop, not a 4-way stop. So don't think the people coming the other way are going to stop. Good morning, fellow Laura. Morning, Russell. Morning, Eric. Morning, Michael. Eric, Elizabeth texted me yesterday because she's coming to a recording of That's What She Said on Sunday. And she wanted to know where it was, so I gave her the address and I said, and answer your father's texts. So hopefully that will help you there. Good morning, David. Yes, I heard about it. Thank you, says Eric. Although now I am more of a weirdo. Why are you more of a weirdo? Here I am, Marie. Here I am. Rock you like a hurricane. Jackson's Battery. Oh, there's a raccoon. Wait, aren't they nocturnal? Uh-oh. So I gotta go into the studio, do a little, I gotta listen to that tape from when I was a kid. I haven't had a chance to sit and listen to it all the way through to see if there are any gems in there. So far what I'm hearing is just a bunch of 9-year-olds acting like morons. Well, I guess acting like 9-year-olds. Nothing particularly substantial. Apparently, I wasn't good at this radio thing right out of the gate. I had to take some practice. Some might argue I'm not very good right now. Beauty's in the eye of the beholder, you know what I mean? Mommy. It's 87 degrees right now, ladies and gentlemen. 10:24 anti-meridian, 87 degrees. Hoofa. Hoof. Ah. I just started daydreaming there. Oh, look at that. Michael Walker, $10 super like. Thank you very much, Michael. Oh, wait, it says message deleted. Did I delete? Oh, shit. I think I accidentally deleted your message, Michael. What did you say? I'm sorry. It's hard to do that with the glare and the driving, and probably should be paying attention to the road, but you know. Morning, Dogface. Jumpmaster says, Ohio sent the heat your way. Been scorching here for a few days. Yeah, we've been lucky, actually. Our summer was not very hot. It was not the typical oppressive heat that we are used to here. Even the humidity really wasn't that bad. I mean, we did have some hot times, but like it wasn't like it normally was. Usually it's like somewhere either like mid-May or early June, the extreme heat and humidity hit, and then it's there until end of September. But this year it was quite mild, and it was actually quite nice. And it went so freaking fast. I don't know how that happened, but the summer just freaking flew right by. By the way, is there anybody who's actively looking for a place, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, to move to in the area? I might know of a place. Rent is like $2,300 though, but it's nice. It's all new. If you are, and you're not a psychopath, then let me know somehow. Marie says, to pass the time, I was listening to Ask a Gettysburg Guide number 3. Who was on number 3 and what did we talk about? Because that was back in the days where it was just random questions, right? But I didn't really like format the show. It was just you send in questions and we'll ask them. So they were all over the place. Morning, Fraser baby. Ty Webb says, has anyone else seen about the biohazard on the plane where a passenger had diarrhea all along the aisle and forced the plane to land? I got a new last place I'd ever want to be. I haven't heard that one. See, this is why I don't like flying, and this is why I don't care about seeing the world, or frankly even going to the other side of the country, because I have to get up on a plane, and it seems like what is it now? Is it that, and so we're getting anyone flying and they're pooping in the aisles? Like, what is wrong with people? When did we become zoo animals? Oh my God, it's just, I'm so disgusted with our people. And it's everybody. It's the whole goddamn culture. From stem to stern, everyone makes me sick. And I don't understand why or where we went wrong. What happened? And I'm not, well, I think I could be romanticizing the past a little bit, because when I was a little kid, you know, I didn't have to deal with the ugliness of life. I had a good life. I didn't know what, well, I don't know what I'm allowed to say and what I'm not allowed to say. No, I just didn't know how harsh life could be. And then, of course, as I got older, I learned more and more of it. But I wasn't so disgusted with everyone until recently, like until 2020. I was fine with everybody. And then now I'm just, like, we're like a third world country. It's disgusting. pooping on airplanes in the aisles. Oh, and then you have to smell that. Oh, that's so horrible. I can't imagine there wasn't vomit all the way down the aisle, and then everybody smells it, and they can't handle it, and they start vomiting. Oh my God, it's like Chunk's story in the Goonies, in the movie theater. Just everybody's puking. God, that's so gross. Let's take good old Highland Avenue here. We usually come the other way. We usually take Highland Avenue to the Hanover Road, which I just turned off of. But now we're gonna take Highland Avenue to the Baltimore Pike. Oh yes. Oh yes. And it's fantastic. Okay, I can't, so the way the sun is, the stuff I have on my driver's or on my passenger seat is glaring off of the phone, so I can't read your comments. So I'll read them once I get a second to read them. But in the meantime, I have an AG Today show to do. Ronnie's going to be on it, and I don't know what we're talking about. So that's one of the things I have to do is go home and not go home, go to the studio and figure out what we're going to talk about, which is often the way it's done. I mean, sometimes I know ahead of time. I used to, like, as the week went on and I'd get an idea, I'd have a list on my phone of topics to talk about on AG Today that week, and then that day I would take them and I would kind of discard ones that I no longer cared about or whatever the case may be. I don't really do that anymore because I'm starting to gain an aversion to my phone. I'm sick of it. It's like, first of all, I think that's part of the reason why my neck hurts, because I'm always looking down at the goddamn thing. And it's like a terrorism minefield on your phone. You got Instagram, which is like the least terrifying of all of them. And you got Facebook. I won't even touch Twitter. I tried Twitter years and years ago, and I was like, this is awful. These people are awful up here. So I don't even do that. And like, I don't know, and I just, yeah, so I don't really, I'm sick of the phone. I can't wait to move into this new place, because it's just like, except for the other house on the property, there won't be any people near us. There's a big privacy fence between the properties, or between the houses, so they shouldn't really bother me that much. And I'm hoping that the rent dissuades a good number of people, so people that would be there would probably be a little more sane. And yeah, so, you know, whatever. But still, I can't wait, because it's gonna be quiet, no sirens, no Harleys, no college kids, no neighbors doing the deed on the other side of the wall. A lot of things that I'm not going to miss will not be out there, if that makes sense. So yeah, I just can't wait. And then it'll be I just want to come home, put my phone in like a safe or something, and forget about it until the next day. And I was saying that to Cindy, and she's like, I'd be fine with that, like just forgetting the phones. And I'm like, good. I was thinking of getting a landline and giving it only to people who need, you know, who would possibly need to get in touch with us in a timely manner. But the house is so new, there's no phone line connection, so we'd have to have it put in, and who cares about that? damn it. Got stuck behind the dump truck. All right, I'm going to pull into the lot here real quick just to catch up on the comments, because I don't want to leave you hanging. All right, let's see. Okay, good morning, everyone. Says Fraser Baby, tied to biohazard. God knew that's up with me. That summer flying by thing, it's another aging phenomenon. Gonna get worse before it gets better. Yeah, Kevin. So, when I was a kid, my whole life, summer flew by because I loved it, right? So, of course, it's gonna go fast. Winter dragged because I hated it. The school year dragged because I hated it. Then I hit 40, and with each year, I noticed the whole year goes by fast. Like, I'm still recovering from the trauma of having to pay my taxes in April. And already now I'm starting to think about, how am I going to lower my tax liability in the next few months? Because it's going to be time to start working on that shit again. And I was thinking about, winter lectures coming up, and how last year the winter lectures were like the thing to look forward to every week for me, because otherwise I was just in the studio recording. And so I would look forward to that. And the next thing I know, I'm at one of them, and they're like, and don't forget, next week is our last weekend of winter lectures. And I was like, what? Like, how the hell did that go by so fast? And it did. It just did. So that was fast. That was fast. It all goes too fast nowadays. But that's the way it goes. Yeah, the whole year goes by. The Alaska guides were awesome. Maybe I'll have to go back, first of all, and listen to them. And secondly, maybe just do some more that are that way, where it's just random questions. Maybe I'll get like 3 or 4 guides in there, and then just do random questions. Tim Smith and Jim, someone, I forgot who that was. Jim Pangburn. So I had 2 guides on in that one. Oh, okay. Ty, it's all over. It would be physically impossible for the person to be wearing pants while the incident was occurring. Crappier Air, or is that Crappier? Crappier Air. It goes straight to Vegas. We have shitty prices, but it's okay to dump on us. Francis says, I work in a casino. I've seen lots of this. Kevin says, of course you had a great childhood, Matt. You were a spoiled New Jersey brat. Yeah, I guess so. There must have been a little element of that. Well, I don't know. Is it a spoiled New Jersey brat where your parents treat you well and they don't beat you or harm you in any way? Is that being a brat, or is that the way it's supposed to be? I think that's what it is. I think I grew up the way you should grow up. And my parents never made me feel like I didn't matter or anything like that. But they certainly didn't spoil us. Or if they did, they would hang it over our heads, I bought you that keyboard. You can't take the garbage out? Fine. You know. My son also works for a casino, The Stories. LOL. Ty says, yeah, I was thinking the lard-ass story from Stand By Me, but same as Chunk. Yeah, same thing. Thank God Hot Ronnie returns. Miss her. Yeah, I miss Ronnie too. I love when Bethany's on as well, but Ronnie is, she's the master. I mean, Ronnie is so good, she doesn't even know she's good because she never had any desire to get into this business or this craft or whatever the hell you call it. And so she just does it for the fun of it, but she's really good. Francis, heard stories from friends that work at casino, absolute horror stories, people relieving themselves in coin catches, etc. Yeah, all right, look, there were always pigs, right? Not every human being was upstanding. We know this. But it seems like the vast majority of the public at least tried to give off the impression of class and dignity, and and then if you found someone pissing in the coin catches, everybody had no problem ostracizing that person and calling that person out and making them feel ashamed for being an animal. But now, decent people are silenced because you might offend the person who wants to pee in the coin catches, and maybe he wants to pee in the coin catches because he has some kind of mental disorder or identifies as, he identifies the urinal or the coin catch as a I don't know, I'm trying to make some kind of, whatever. My point is, we've really slipped. And it's not the government, it's not colleges, it's us. It's all of us people who rolled our eyes and laughed at this stuff 20, 30 years ago. Now our chickens are coming home to roost. We shouldn't have been laughing. We should have been fighting. And we're not, and we didn't, and now we've got to put up with it. And we're all too old for it. And so the people who have the energy to fight are the young ones, and they're 90% brainwashed into being, they're cultists. So we're dead, basically. And Matt becomes a hermit. Yeah, you talking about me moving out of town? That's what I'm looking forward to. Hermetism. Goes with my rheumatism. Taurus looking in your windows. Yeah, I don't really have that. If they do, I have the windows kind of blocked up pretty well, so. Jumpmaster, I'm 30 plus minutes out from anything other than a little podunk gas station. Yeah, I think I have to ease myself into that. That's like ultimately my dream, is to be that far detached from society. But, the older you get, the more you got to think about hospital proximity. So I'm afraid of that. Country living. Did owner clean out the septic tank before you moved in? It's a brand new septic tank. We're the first ones to use it. So it'll be christened with our bodily mess. Fraser baby, Marie, Matt could be a recluse. Oh, very easily. Very easily. Donald says, hi, Matt. Been a few days since I caught the live while live. Well, welcome, Donald. Kevin says, oh, yes, Matt. The multitude of responsibilities and duties accumulates when running a business. You certainly need help. I do, mentally. Lance says, our only neighborhood what? Our only neighborhood are those crazy wind turbines basically in our view, but at a distance. Those things are such a waste of money and space. They don't do shit. Of course it is supposed to be that way, says Kevin. I'll correct your grammar there, we who didn't have such a great time call you guys brats out of jealousy, I suppose. Yeah. And you know what's funny? The older I get, the more my heart breaks for people who didn't have good parents. And it's funny because I didn't realize just how good my parents were until I got out into the world and I met the results of bad parents. I dated many results of bad parents, and it's devastating to a person to be, if you're a shitty parent. First of all, if you can't be a goddamn parent, wear a condom for Christ's sake, and then make the guy wear a condom. Why is this so complicated? The pill is not always just the pill and a condom. Very, very foolproof. Then you have these kids when you're like 5 years old yourself. You haven't even been raised into an adult yet, and now you're raising these babies, and you end up growing up like brother and sister more than parent and child. And then the rest of us have to deal with these little terrorists. It's terrible. Oh yeah, Bethany is a very good sub for Ronnie. Yes, she is. And Bethany and Ronnie are a very good team on That's What She Said. The first episode of which will be on the second lieutenant and above level on Patreon on September 13th. But you can get the first 15 minutes of it for free wherever you listen to podcasts. That's and it's the first episode that they recorded because Bethany did not listen to my instruction to not acknowledge the order in which things are recorded so that I can put them out whenever. She said, "This is our first show," and they talked a little bit about that. So it is actually the first one they did, and they did a great job, I think. But they get better as the shows go on, of course, because they get more practice with it. So I think you're gonna like That's What She Said, because it's a break from, like, you're still getting the same flavor, right, that you do with my shows, but you don't have to listen to me. You got a variety now. And I'm talking to other people about other shows. I'm starting to make this network happen, slow but sure, because again, one guy, 65 irons in the fire while wearing 62 hats. So everything has a little, you do a little work here, and then you move on to the other thing, and then you come back to the first thing, and you move on to the 34th thing, etc., etc. Still playing that lottery so that we can finance this. But until then, we use what we call sweat equity and elbow grease and blood, sweat, and tears to keep things going. And then I'm going to jump off a roof. Preach, brother, preach. What am I preaching? Oh, about how shitty everybody is. Yes. Stop having kids, you monsters. It really is it frustrates me. I always wanted to be a father. Even when I was a young man, like a teenager, I always wanted to be a father. And I got out there in the world, and I had such a weird view of women, and like I thought that they were, sane and wanted to be loved. But I found out that there's so many of them out there who were at some point in life, whether it's childhood or later on or both, were just treated so horribly or neglected by a father or a mother, which, by the way, daddy issues are one thing, but mommy issues are absolutely awful to deal with. But I digress. And I'm talking mommy issues in women. Horrible. There's no worse feeling for a girl to be rejected by her mother. You always think it's the father, but wait until you meet someone who's rejected by the mother, the person who carried her for 9 months. That is heartbreaking. Anyway, we're on Wheatfield Road. As you can see, it is paved, newly paved. But anyway, I wanted to have a family. I wanted to be a husband. I wanted to be a father. And now I blame myself for this. I kept going. And so I wasted a lot of time. And I watched a lot Alive. It's to propagate the human race. And then so to basically get through those years when you should be doing it and realize that your own stupidity and indeed the stupidity of many of the fairer sex who I've encountered. When all you've ever wanted to do was be a dad, kind of sucks. And I'm not gonna. All you've ever wanted to do was be a dad, kind of sucks. And I'm not going to adopt. I'm going to adopt because I don't want somebody else's mess. Because I don't want somebody else's mess. Stepkids are one thing, but it's not the same. Oh, you could get a puppy. I got a puppy. Still not the same. But I have a niece and nephew, and that'll do. It's going to have to. And now I'm going to drive 90 miles an hour into the Trossel barn. Thank you for letting me go down that rabbit hole. My younger daughter works with kids. She's told me some stories. Oh, I bet. It says the movie Idiocracy has become a documentary. You're absolutely right. You're so right. And it was not that long ago that it was made. That's what's so disturbing, is that we just descended so quickly. Two things in my mind: that the Rones. That just blew all the glue that was holding society together was just eroded by 2020. And now we are in a cold civil war because we have two sides that just do not trust each other. And then oh God, I don't know. I think we're in a new thing. I don't think there's a word for it because it's a civil war, World War III scenario that we've got coming up here, and it's very scary, and I don't know how everybody doesn't see it. The Park Service doing a lot of work down here, ladies and gents. Very good, very good. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, you complain, you whine, you bitch, because this road is closed for paving, or Little Round Top's closed, or Devil's Den's closed, and meanwhile you haven't been here in 30 years. But when you do come back, you're going to be surprised, pleasantly I believe, at what a pretty park you have. You've got paved roads. They're doing, I don't know what the hell they're doing back where we just passed, but they're working on this place. So there you go. King John says, good morning, Matt and everyone else. Here's a random question. Why is that damn bend in the road in front of Bantam Roasters? Oh, that's a great question. And for those of you who don't know what he's talking about, I'll point it out to you because I'm heading to Bantam Roasters now. All right, so Steinware Avenue got together, the businesses got together, and might have been 2006 or 7, and they employed this group. I think it was called the Delta Development Group or something like that, and they came up with a plan to kind of spruce up Steinware Avenue. Brick sidewalks, lanterns, street lights that look like lanterns and stuff, and kind of like beautify it, right? So they got all the approvals they needed and everything, and then they did it. That bend, I believe, is supposed to be equivalent to a speed bump. So it's supposed to be a deterrent from speeding down that road because there's so much foot traffic. It is the stupidest thing. It wasn't always there. And not only that, but the intersection of Baltimore Street is so fakakta. if you're coming on Baltimore Street into town, like heading north, and you want to make a left on Steinway, you got to make this big swooping left to go around that island. But you could also drive on the island. It's just a rumble strip island. So, but you know, your instinct is to avoid the island because it's a different color, different material. So obviously it's something, and you're used to them being actual islands, and so you know you want to avoid it and go around it and stay in the lane on the pavement. It doesn't always work that way, and yeah, so there's that goofiness too. But yeah, that little kink in the road on Steinway in front of Bantam is weird. And honestly, if there aren't cars coming against you, you can easily speed through there because you could just ride the yellow line and get through without having to swerve. I'm not going to demonstrate it for you, but I've seen it done. So here we're getting to Steinway Avenue now. Is that Jim Hassler? Oh my God, Jim Hassler! Yes, I'm Darren Weeks. My name is Darren Weeks. Yes. That was funny. It's Jim Hassler walking there, and you heard me, I'm sure, say, "Is that Jim Hassler? Is that Jim Hassler?" He goes, "Oh wait, you're from the Breakfast Club." And I said, "Yes, I'm Darren Weeks." I should have said I'm Mayor. Damn it. Oh well. Oh well. All right, now, so we're on Steinway, right? And what John is talking about is coming up after the light here. I'll angle us down a bit there so we can see. Gonna just let some distance get between me and the guy in front, because watch, the guy in front is gonna swerve. Ready? There he goes. He swerves. See, you don't have to swerve that much, but it's right there, that kink there where the red car just went. All right. All right, let's see. Bill says, "I lived in the country, and then they put a drilling rig on a farm nearby. Now water trucks run 24 hours a day with Jake brakes blasting. People that work there use the road." Yeah. There's a cookie cutter neighborhood right behind us, and they've got an HOA, ladies and gentlemen. They've got an HOA. No trees, but there's a line of trees between our property and them, so we don't have to actually look at them, and they don't have to look at us, which is good. But yeah, there's a farm across the street. There's another residence a good 4-ish acres away from our house. We're kind of in like a little bubble there where we are. I like it. But yeah, I mean, we're not going to stay there forever either. Like, the plan is to save up and then buy a place. So, yeah. The ghost of Edward Cross always seems to interrupt your signal through the wheat field. Yeah, no. Could be. It could be the ghosts. It could also be that that's just low ground. It's never too late to be a dad. Just ask Mick Jagger. Yeah, look. Here's the reality. It's honestly, it's such a horror show. Did I ever tell you guys how I met Cindy? I met Cindy because I had become despondent and basically had given up. And it was because the dating apps, you know, it's like you might as well go into the psych ward at your local hospital and just, go from door to door and see the patients and be like, hi, my name is Matt. I like long walks on the beach and scratching my dog's ears and, whatever. Because that's really all that's out there. And so I decided I'm either going to meet someone organically, like in person, or I'm going to be alone the rest of my life, and I have to be okay with either one of those. And the fact of the matter is, like, I'm 45. If I'm going to have a kid, I'm not having a kid with someone in my age group, because we're both going to die before that kid gets to have grandkids for us. Theoretically, maybe, possibly. The chances are higher. So it would have to be somebody late 20s to mid 30s. Who in their right mind in that age group is going to want someone my age, like me, unless I was rich like Mick Jagger? Being rich gets you anything, but it also gets you more crazies coming around. So I think, and honestly, I can't handle raising a puppy. I'm having such a hard time with it because I get no time for myself at home. So I couldn't do it with a human child anymore. It's right now, that thing is a heartbreak for me. It is not a hope anymore. It is not a desire anymore. It has died. That part of me has died. And now it's just, I lament it. I lament that I never got that opportunity. And I lament also that I thought too much and too hard about it. I was very adamant that I didn't want my kid, if I was going to have a kid, to grow up in a broken home. So to find a woman who I felt would not leave or would not drive me away was impossible until I met Cindy. And that took my whole life, 45 years to find. So I guess it just means that there's something else I'm supposed to do with my life that kids would not get in the way of, but maybe it would get in the way of raising the kids properly. So maybe that's why I'm not meant to have them. I don't know. But when I look out there and I see the fuckheads that do have kids and they don't appreciate them and they don't care about them, I'm talking mothers and fathers, but especially the fathers, I get really pissed off. And I see those poor little kids, and I know they don't know any better, but I realize, like, the chances of them having a good life with parents like these, it's sad. It's sad. So, yeah, but thanks anyway, Lance. The park should have, Ty says this, the park should have tried to do that musical road thing when repaving roads. Use music from the movie or music the regiments used. What the hell are you talking about? That musical road thing? Is that a thing? What do you mean? What are you talking? Explain yourself, Ty. David says, it's hard to notice the potential for civil war and global conflict when doing a TikTok dance. Well, yeah, good point. Well, and also, you were never taught in school about those things in a proper manner to be able to recognize them now. And then you go and do your TikTok dance videos. Jumpmaster says, roads look like a drag strip. Well, we often use them for drag races. A lot of people don't know, in the winter when you guys aren't here, the locals and Park Service employees all get together and we have drag races on Hancock Avenue. This is something that we do as a people. The project, and that was a joke, by the way. The projects and updating was needed, but get those hours changed back to 7. Yeah, I'm working on them. I'll get there, Lance. Tom Candyman says, my town did the sidewalks also, as well as lampposts. They did so to use all the tax money so the town budget didn't go down the following year. There you go. Marie looks like she's crying or sneezing. Kevin says, you're very lucky to have found Cindy. You've graduated from the seemingly never-ending catch and release program. I never did. Finish your story about... Okay. So, I went on... I said, okay, I'm going to go on the dating app. So I came to the conclusion, organically meet or be alone forever and, resign yourself to the fact that one of those is your fate and you have to be okay with it. And you have to find your happiness your own way. Which, frankly, I've had to do my whole life. So I go on to Hinge, which was the app that I was on, to delete my profile. And the first person that pops up, when you open the app, it suggests somebody to you right away. And so the first thing that popped up was Cindy. And it said, just joined. And there was something in her eyes that I really liked. And so I said, well, let's just see what she has to say. And I read what she had to say, and she sounded very down to earth, very normal, very level-headed, and sane. So I said, what the hell? I'll respond to one of the things she says here and see if I can, get a conversation going. And then I go and I write something to her and hit send, and I go, well, that was stupid. Because I just came on here to delete my account. So by the time she reads it, which might be tomorrow or the day after, there's going to be a 1 in 100 chance that she's going to respond to me. Okay, which is like very typical for guys. There's a 1 in 100 chance that a woman's going to respond. So I go, that was dumb, because if she's going to respond, there's going to be no account for her to respond to. But whatever. So while I'm looking through the menu trying to find the delete button, and then I find the delete button, and just as I'm about to hit it, I see a notification come in that Cindy responded. And so I go and I read it, and then we get a little chat going back and forth, and it's going nice. And I say, well, listen, I came on here to delete my account, and she had just joined a half hour before, and so I had come on to delete my account. She just joined, and I said, here's my phone number if you'd like to continue this chat. I leave it up to you. And so she texted me right away, and we continued talking, and then moved to the phone. I had a couple of days of good phone calls, and then she suggested that we go get dinner the following Monday, and we did. And she gave me a very nice hug when we met. Usually if you get a hug on a first date, it's the hug where you push your butt out, so the, God forbid, the genitals touch. But this was like a full body hug, as if we had been together for years. And I was like, well, that's different. And that's nice, because I literally just got out of the car. And so we walked inside, had a nice conversation over dinner, and then had continued it outside in the parking lot. And I said, I had a nice time. We should go out again tomorrow. Now, I said that expecting her to be like, well, I can't. I have this to do or that to do. Because usually, every time beforehand, it's always been like, there has to, they get these schedules in their heads, these timelines in their heads, right? You have a first date. You have a good time. Oh, well, let's go out again tomorrow. Well, I don't know. That's too soon. But you just said we had a good time. Right, but it's all happening too fast. Okay. But so I figured that she was going to say that or something like that. And she just goes, okay, you want me to come down there? And I was like, oh, well, all right. So we basically, in the first 7 days, we went out 5 nights in those first 7 days. I also got major that week. And Yeah, and I got Major because I had figured I was going to be alone the rest of my life, and I felt this need to take care of another living being. And so I was like, well, let me get a puppy. And, but then it ended up being I got both in the same week. Could have given the puppy back, or not even taken her, because I had my first date on Monday. I didn't get Major till Thursday. So I could have said, never mind, but I got her. Anyway, point is, that's the story. They put grooves in the road, and as you drive over them, the grooves make different sounds. Places started coordinating the sounds to make music. What? I've never heard of this, Ty. That's the coolest thing. Or is it? Does it sound kind of demonic? It probably sounds weird. Gene says, man, that was meant to be. Perfect timing. Yeah, I guess it was. Because everything just fell into place after that. I'm looking constantly for red flags, and I'm finding none. And I've just decided, you know what? There are sane women in the world, and you finally found her. I mean, you finally found one of them. And don't look a gift horse in the mouth. So I'm not. Bill says, been with my woman 39 years, married 38 years this November. Married 38. Okay, gotcha. Well, there you go. 1 year. So you knew. And I think I've always heard people say this, when you know, you know. And I think that's kind of what we said. Like after like a week and a half into it, I kind of said that to her. I was like, I'm old enough now to kind of know that I think I'm kind of falling in love with you. And I hope that's okay. And she's like, yeah, it's fine. I'm kind of feeling the same way. And I was like, you're feeling the same way in that you feel that I'm falling in love with you, or you're also doing it back? And she's like, you're an idiot. And then we laughed, and we went in the produce aisle at Giant, and we were juggling oranges and peaches. And then Herman's Hermits, Something Tells Me I'm Into Something Good started playing. And then we got into a ketchup and mustard fight. What else did we do? Oh, we went running on the beach, holding hands, and then this other guy was running towards us, and we're like, neither one of us was willing to stop, and we ended up like clotheslining him because he just wouldn't get out of our way. Just a lot of fun. I wore a sweater tied around my shoulders the whole time. It was interesting. Hip Hop One says Ja. I'm gonna guess that is not actually a legitimate follower. King John says, thanks, Ty. They do that here in Western New York too. Very weird sound. Huh. Bill says, thanks, Kevin. There are ups and downs, but we hung in there. Of course, there's always ups and downs. Lance says, dating apps suck. I was a hiring manager my last handful of years. I hired my soon-to-be wife. No kidding. We've been together 10 years and counting, and she's still employed. Good. Kevin says, well, I'm not experienced, but Bill, just for my years of couples observing, I've gleaned... What? Of couples observing, I've gleaned that to be the key. Stick with it. The grass may sometimes look greener on the other side, but it mows just as hard. That's a good one. Dogface says, is her version of the story the same? Yeah, we've told it many times. Chad and I met online, says Marie. Yahoo Personals. There you go. David says, I met my wife first day, freshman year of high school, and we started dating shortly after. Now everyone's like, oh my God, that's so cute. It's more like, oh my God, that's so cute. Right? Cute instead of cute. Did you guys always think you'd get married? So that's the other thing, David. I have two people I went to high school. Well, it's actually four. Four people I went to high school who dated in high school, were high school sweethearts, continued through college. I think both couples at one point in college took time apart to see other people, but ended up going back to each other. And then after college got married, had kids. And I think there's something really beautiful about that, because you grow up together, but you still, a lot of people change. You know, you meet in your 20s, and then by your 40s, you're like, who the hell is this person? Because you changed over the years, but, you know, the kids interfered and you got in the way and stuff. High school sweethearts that get married, like, they go through each phase of life together, and I there's something really nice about that. Of course, I'll never get it, because the ship has sailed. I left high school many years ago. But there is something nice about that, and I think that people who do it should count themselves as very lucky. Even when it doesn't feel like you are, you're still very lucky. Gene says, the story of how you met gave me the warm fuzzies. Oh, good. I'm glad. David says, and I'm like, not really. My 15-year-old mind was more focused on more immediate relationships goals at the time. Yeah, well, yeah, that does complicate things. Ty says, a little cool and a little demonic, but I had to stop talking about it as you distracted me with the description of Frank Drebin's date with Jane. Good, I'm glad somebody got that. 38 years this month, Russell says. Ty Webb, did you laugh after watching Platoon together? Yes, we were cracking up. And Glory, and I should have named other movies, because I think you get the point. All right, Kevin, go get your coffee. Looking forward to the Ronnie return. Yes, that's what I'm going to do. Great coffee at Benton's. We go there every morning. Marie says, you have a good Meet Cute, Matt. What movie is that from? Meet Cute. I'm going to guess it's a rom-com, which means I haven't seen it. Or Meet Cute. Wait a second. That no, I mean, it sounds familiar because I've heard people saying it, but I don't think I've ever seen the movie. I'm pretty sure I haven't seen the movie. Dogface. Been with a girlfriend almost 3 years now, and the only thing she gives me crap about was booking the Colton Motel. And rightfully so. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I got to get my coffee, and then I got to go to the studio and do some things, and then I got to go home and spend a little time with Major, because we're going to have a long night, and so she needs some time with her papa. And I will talk to you tonight, 5:30-ish. AG today. Ronnie's back again. Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess, etc. Bye-bye.